Hello everyone, I'm RobtheMod and this is part 30 of Halo Infinite on the Xbox One that I'm playing it on. This is the level The Road, and I was actually wrong. In the past couple of episodes I've said there was only 2 levels to go. It's actually 3. I don't know how I got confused. There's 3 levels. There's The Road, there's House of Reckoning, and the Silent Auditorium. And I think I may have actually mentioned this when I said this. I don't know how I got confused with only being 2, but I think what it was is that on my list of episodes that I've wrote down, the schedule I should say, so I know what videos are coming out when, I only wrote 2 Halo Infinites. I didn't write the 3rd one, and then I put Doom into place for next week, so I thought that I would have finished Halo, but I didn't write Silent Auditorium down. So, oops, that was my mistake. Well, I'll tell you what, we're getting right to the end game of Halo Infinite here. Right close to the end. There's 2 achievements on, well, there's, sometimes in a Halo level, there's multiple achievements you can get on a level, in a mission. Not sure if it's every single mission, but, I was playing and I had the achievement list up and I was like, wait, hang on, you can earn this on the road. So I'm going to try and earn this. And what it is you can see this tank. And basically, if you have to get the tank over to the House of Reckoning without it being blown up. Now, all the guides said, oh, if you die in it, you will fail this challenge. That's actually incorrect, because I died, well, when I say this is getting to the end game, I mean Halo Infinite's getting, I mean maybe it'll be a little bit easier if I had more of the armor cores or whatever they are. Because was there one for health? I can't remember. But, yeah, maybe it would have been a little bit easier, but there's bits of this where it got a bit difficult. I mean, in the next one, well, let's just say, in this, you got to get this tank here. The tank blew up a couple of times. Whatever, didn't matter. I still got it to the destination, and I got the achievement. And then I got the achievement for finishing the mission as well, which was nice. The next level, which is House of Reckoning, it's basically, I mean, spoilers, but it's basically you're fighting through waves of enemies because it's a training facility for the Banished to essentially learn how to kill UNSC soldiers, I guess, at the kidnap. So you got to fight through a couple of waves of those, and then you've done it. But the problem is, it doesn't actually save checkpoints until you've completed that entire level, because there's multiple levels with multiple waves, if that makes any sense. So you got the first level and you got 3 or 4 waves of enemies, and it won't save the checkpoint until the 4th wave, and then you go up to the next level of the building, which is kind of annoying, because obviously if you die on the 4th wave, you've got to do the entire thing again, and that did happen. And then the other thing is that there's literally 2 boss battles on House of Reckoning, which, yes, that's a massive spoiler, but I'll be talking about it when I do House of Reckoning, won't I? So, yeah, there's 2 boss battles, and then on Silent Auditorium, you've got another boss battle. So there's 3 boss battles, and it's awkward. And the other thing about Silent Auditorium is, and yes, this is another spoiler, but where you start off, you're basically swarmed with enemies. And I'm not kidding, it took me 10 or so attempts to actually get through the thing. And I'm only playing on normal. I mean, I don't know if that indicates how shit I play Halo, but I don't think I'm that bad a Halo player. Especially when I'm going through the level for the first time blind. But, yeah. And the fact that I can, the fact that I can keep this tank alive, I mean, admittedly I did die, but the fact that I actually did manage to get the tank to its destination in one piece without leaving it, I mean, there's some level of Halo skill there. It's just, I think I did need to rank up my armor. I think that's the problem. I reckon that because it did warn you about like, you know, hey, if you don't have any of these Spartan cores, this might be a bit difficult for you. So yeah, I that might have been the issue. But yeah, another thing is that this is a bit weird. I mean, you're seeing this in January, so I mean it happened 4 months ago because I'm recording this in September. But it being British, it's a bit weird that like, because the Queen died yesterday, and I use this series as a sort of vlog, which I've been editing the journey through videos, because hopefully all the Halo journeys will be finished by the time you for next week, for when the Halo Infinite one goes through. But yeah, I was actually listening to a bit of the Halo 2 one, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's this enemy here, you gotta shoot them in the head there, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't do that now, I just talk. I just use this as a giant vlog, don't I? But yeah, it's a bit weird because the Queen died yesterday, and obviously now it was Prince Charles, now it's King Charles, and it's weird because obviously not used to that. You know, talking about him in that manner, because you know 70 odd years of his life he's been called Prince Charles. So I mean, I guess it's got to be weird for him, right? Because he's getting called king now, even though that's supposed to be like, you know, his entire life is being going up for that role. But yeah, it's just a bit bizarre. But presumably because there will have been a World Cup in the intervening months. I don't know who won that, obviously, but there will have been a World Cup in the intervening months, so the national anthem would have been played before England matches. So you know, hopefully people will have got used to having to say "God Save the King," because that's "God Save the Queen" was the national anthem, and now it's "God Save the King" because it changes when the monarch dies. And I know there'll be a bunch of people that'll be like, having a monarchy is stupid. I mean, yes, I agree, but what are you going to do, right? I mean, there's nothing really you can do about it. I mean, there's a presumption that, like, it's going to go at some point, like, either during Charles or William's, but I don't, if William actually gets to be king, I don't think it's going anywhere. I mean, I don't know why I'm turning this sort of like political, but yeah, yeah, supposedly, yeah, like Charles isn't particularly liked, but William is. So, you know, if it makes it to William, I think the monarchy's probably there for like, you know, another. I mean, that's the other thing as well. It's like it's Charles, William, Prince George is like the really youngest one. And you know, it's all men until after that, assuming it continues. So it's a bit weird. I mean, that if you think about it, that's the monarchy sorted until after I'm dead, right? Because if I'm 25 now, you know, yeah, Charles probably ain't gonna last too long. 20 odd years maybe. Maybe William will probably be in his 60s when he takes over. So another, you know, 30 odd years, but George is what, like 7 or whatever, so he'll be in his 40s. So you know, that is the monarchy pretty much sorted until that, you know, I won't be alive anymore. Maybe YouTube will no longer be here. Maybe YouTube will actually still be here, and for whatever reason people will be watching this Let's Play of Halo Infinite in 100 years from now. I don't know why that would happen, but yeah. That was actually a really weird thing. I mean, this really says a lot about the internet age, doesn't it? It's like the obviously the Queen died, and then you got like the message from like now King Charles, and the top reply on Twitter. So the thing that will be in the screenshots in the history books was a GIF from The Office. Like, that just really, it's weird. Like, weird how history is like that. It's like, oh, we've communicated it in a GIF, and now, I mean, I don't know how we're gonna have. And I like how it said history books, as if like, you know, assume I don't know how we're gonna have, you know, the paper from bloody Harry Potter, that, like animated paper, but you know what I mean. Like, I assume in the in the future, well, I mean, when I was at school, we were using computers, obviously, so towards the end we were starting to use Chromebooks and tablets, so obviously history books in the future will be using technology in that fashion, so presumably that office GIF will live on forever. God, this is just such a weird episode if you think about it. Well, we talked about the end of Halo Infinite and the monarchy. That's just really, really strange. But I have actually completely finished Halo Infinite now, because like I said, I've recorded it all, so it's completely finished. I'm done with the game. I can uninstall the campaign, I guess. That's the other thing, actually. When I was watching the Halo 2 video while I was editing it, didn't watch the entire thing, obviously, because it's like, how long is it? I actually closed the file, so I actually can't tell you. But it's actually, I'll just load it up. I'll quickly load it up if I can. Hopefully before this cutscene happens that's coming up. Come on, Vegas, load up. Or I'll tell you after the cutscene, because we're getting very, very close to the cutscene. It's 5 hours, 32 minutes, right? Anyway, cutscene's here, but I'll get back to you.
Okay, I guess we're expected. I mean, it's a trap, right? It's definitely a trap. Are you even listening?
Let's go.
Ready when you are, Chief.
So yeah, it's 5 hours, 32 minutes. Obviously, I didn't watch all of that while I was editing, but I watched chunks. And there's a bit where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do Halo 3 ODST after Halo 3. I'm going to do them all in release order. Now, maybe I've released these the journeys in release order. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to do that. But it's just a bit weird. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do all of Halo in the release order. And then I did Halo 4 after Halo 3. But, yeah, there's the achievement for doing that. This has been part 30 of Halo Infinite on the Xbox One. I've been RobtheMod, and ta-ra.